All right, hello and welcome. My name is Shauna. This is our intermediate level FitEssentials class. We have Moose here assisting today. We're going to be starting down on the floor. If you're wearing your blood flow bands, we have not yet added air. We'll do that after we finish our first series. So let's go ahead. You're going to come to a seated position. And as you come to seated, make sure you can kind of move the flesh of your glutes up out of the way. So you're sitting up nice and tall in your sit bones. Thank you, Moose. And now we're going to place our feet flat, kind of walk them just outside the hips. You can rest your arms back, draw those shoulders back and down, and we're just going to gently start to windshield wiper the hips. Lower both knees to one side, not forcing anything, and then gently take them the other way. Good. Sinking in. And back. On this third time, we're going to add a side stretch. So as you drop your knees to one side, take your arm, and now we're going to really long, like reach over. You can just kind of flow through, see where you can get that nice stretch on your body. A couple of breaths into that area where you feel that tension, typically your outer rib cage. And then we'll take it to the other side. Bring the arm back, bring the knees that opposite direction. And then same idea, long reach, stretching out that side body a bit into a little bit of the low back. A nice big breath, looking to expand that side body and back of the rib cage. Good, and then come on back to neutral. Fantastic. From here, we're going to make our way onto our stomachs. We're going to be working our flying flies and or those snow angels this morning. Kind of engage that mid back and whole posterior chain. So lie down with your legs together. You're going to start with your palms up at the side of the body, chin in, and then you're going to lift your torso, keeping your rib cage and hips down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, push your hands up towards the sky. Tuck your chin in, looking straight down at your mat. Squeeze those glutes. And then anytime you need a break, you can bring it down and rest. Rest your head down, breathing in, engage the glutes, lift on up. And then your choice if you want to add those snow angels. Start to bring the arms over your head, turn the palms down as you reach overhead. And then once again, as you come back down, past your shoulders, palms rotate up. Excellent. It can take about another 20 seconds here. Anytime you need a break, just rest, torso, and head down on the mat. Otherwise, try to focus. You're trying to lengthen through your whole body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Good. Really big squeeze through those shoulder blades. Maybe one more time if you're working those snow angels. 2, 1. Come on up, or you take it back into a child stretch. Toes together, knees divide, and gently lower the hips back towards the heels. Bow the head down. Let's breathe 3 times here. In and out the nose as able, or in the nose, out the mouth. Try to send that air to the lateral aspect of your rib cage. And on your next breath, go ahead and come on up. Fantastic. We're going to return back to that seated position. We're going to take it one more time through. On this second round of the windshield wipers, we're going to add what we call our hip throughs. So it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to tilt the legs to the one side, using your arms as much as you need. You're going to look to come up on the knees, open the hips, stack the shoulders over the hips. There you go. And then we take it back down, sitting back. Rock your knees to the other direction. You can either reach the arms forward or push off the ground as you come up and open the hips. Beautiful. Sinking back. And rotate. So Sharon, you want to have both knees stay down as you lean forward. I'm pushing through both knees to come up and bring those hips through. I sit back. I go into that windshield wiper. Over to that second side. And then pull through. Yep, or use the arms. Good job. I'd recommend making sure those knees stay on your mat or a carpeted surface. Up and flow. Nice, Kathy. Sitting back. The legs over. And open all the way up. Back and down. One more time each direction. Over and flow through. Squeeze the glutes, really open up through those hips. Over and back. Last time on that second side. And then all the way down. Fantastic. When you finish that, go ahead and return to your stomach. Second round of either the lying flies. That would just be where you keep the arms at your side or working those snow angels. So coming down, legs stay mostly together. My watch here. And 3, 2, 1, and begin. So lifting up, squeeze those shoulder blades back and down, chin in, looking towards the floor. Firing the glutes. Imagine you got that friend lifting from the top of the head, the tips of your toes. And once again, if you start to feel that fatigue, you just rest it down for a moment and then lift back up. 30 seconds left. You want to work into those snow angels. We'll start to circle through the arms, bringing them up to overhead, and then back and down. Get some good opening through those shoulders. Very nice. Make sure you're breathing now. I tend to breathe in as I reach the arms up to overhead, and then breathing out as they circle back down. Wonderful. 15 seconds left. Good. Chin in, looking down. You're going to extend that neck. You're going to be looking right down at your mat. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Let's come up to tabletop for that cat-cow position. So nice wide handprint. Place the knees. We're going to go 5 cycles here. So as you breathe in, you're going to lift up, tuck the chin to the chest. And then as you breathe out, a gentle arch, drawing those shoulders down out of the ears. Very good. Match it up to your own breathing cycle. Wonderful. 3 more. 2 to go. You don't want to have any kind of pinching sensation in that low back, so make sure you don't overarch, just gently lowering your belly button towards the floor. Wonderful. Final time. Good. And pausing there. All right, let's give a little bit more attention to the wrist. Go ahead and rotate the palm down with the fingers pointing in towards your body. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to lean back. And if you'd like, you can gently rock your body side to side. Very good. If you're comfortable to sit back on your feet, I'm going to turn my toes under for this one. Sitting back, coming into a kneeling position. And then from here, we'll do that inverted prayer. Fingers down, back of the hands together. Draw the shoulders down, draw the elbows down. Just try to push the back of the hands together. Excellent. At the same time, you can just gently roll through the neck or rock the head back and forth. Good. Change into a regular prayer position. Palms push together. And now as you kind of draw the arms down, you gently lift the elbows up. And then we'll go 2 neck circles each direction as we do this. Good. If the toes are getting uncomfortable, you can come up a little bit more. You can turn the soles of the feet up and sit back there. Wish you're not taking my socks outside. Rock the head the other direction twice. Beautiful. And shake out the arms. All right, let's come into down dog. And then we're going to make our way up to standing. And we'll add air. So nice wide handprint. Turn those toes under. Lift those hips up. Start with 3 to 5 gentle pulses here. Pushing through the heels of your hand. Guiding your heart towards your thighs. Fantastic. And then after you get those pulses in, getting that opening for the mid-back, we'll add the calf stretch, pedaling out the heels. Wonderful. From here, start to walk your feet in towards your hands. Put your hands in towards your feet till you come into that forward fold. And then we'll come up nice and slow, like you're trying to open your spine about one segment at a time. Oh, fantastic. As you make your way to stand, you're welcome to grab a drink of water. If you're wearing the bands, we're going to go ahead and add the air now. If you're not wearing the bands, you're welcome to do a little side stretch action here. Whatever feels good to you. Okay, I'm going to add air as I walk to grab my water bottle. I'll be right back. We have 3 rounds coming up of a little series here. We're going to be starting with some reverse lunges, alternating legs. We'll have a minute to work the lunges. I'm going to go unweighted for this first round. Then we'll be coming down to a forearm plank with the option to do what we call a walk up. You can go from your forearms, walking your hands up to the top of a push-up. I'll demo that when we get there on that first round. Then we're going to come back up to standing. If you have a light to moderate weight, we'll use it for that third exercise. We'll start with a regular sumo deadlift. And then on rounds 2 and 3, you'll have the option to move into a single leg deadlift. Our final exercise is going to be a single arm overhead press, either from standing, or you're welcome to come down and work from like a half kneeling position or a lunge, bottom of the lunge. All right, feel free to grab one final drink of water. And now we're going to stretch our quads, and then we're going to jump into that circuit. All right, go ahead and pick a foot to start with. Balance as able, lifting on up. Grab that foot. Eyes up and forward. Nice. The goal is to connect your heel towards your glute here. If you don't have that range of motion, don't force it, but just keep that in mind. This would probably be a great stretch for you to do on a daily basis or a couple times per day. Go ahead and release that foot. Step it wide in between sides, and let's just give a little opening for the inner thighs. Come into our side lunge here. Both feet are firmly planted, eyes up and forward. Shoulders back and down. Good job. Breathing in as you come back to center, and then a gentle exhale as you lean into that side lunge. Good. Keeping yourself out on that second side. And then go ahead and walk the feet back in, and then quad stretch on the other side. Good job. Nice tall chest, eyes looking up and forward. 5 more seconds here. And shake it out. All right, 10 seconds. We're going to jump right into that first circuit. If you're a little unsteady on your lunges, you don't have to force yourself all the way down. Just step back as far as you're confident. Otherwise, here we go. Arms reach forward. You're looking to control that knee to the floor and then propel yourself up and forward to that front foot. Nice long step back so you can keep that front shin vertical. There we go. Down, alternating legs. As you start to feel more confident with that motion, you can pick up your tempo just a little bit if you choose. Again, first of 3 rounds, so it's great to pace yourself through it. On the later rounds, we'll have the option to hold some weight if you choose. I do want you to ensure that you're confident with that full range of motion, meaning that you can take your knee all the way to the floor without any pain or discomfort before you add any load or weight to your lunges. So range of motion is our first priority, and pain-free movements. Wonderful. Maybe one more on each side. And we're coming down to that plank position next. Rotate when you're ready. So as we come down, we're going to start on the forearms. And depending upon your comfort with the plank, you can stay there throughout the motion. Have your feet just a little bit wider. If you want the extra challenge to walk up, You place the palm down, push through the forearm, come up to the push-up, and then you return back down to the forearm. Then you switch sides. The other hand, wide palm, pushing up to the top of that push-up, coming down, and that's the walk-up. Want to really hold strong through the stomach. Don't want to let those hips drop down. If there's any discomfort on the wrist or the shoulders, just stay down here in this forearm plank. 10 seconds left. Keep engaging that lower body. Squeeze the bum, draw the thighs up out of the knees. And 3, 2, 1, coming on back to standing. Wonderful. As you return to standing, now we'll pick up that moderate to light weight. We're going to hold it in 2 hands. Set the feet a little bit wider, draw those shoulders back and down, and we're going to move into our deadlift motion. So when you're ready, you're going to practice that long spine, sending the hips back. Squeeze the glutes, standing tall. Good. Breathing in as you bow down. Breathing out as you stand, looking up and forward. Hinge and stand. Good. And I feel your mid-back engage as well. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together, holding that mid-back nice and flat. If you're really stiff in your hamstrings and it causes any discomfort to go all the way down, just go to like mid-shin and then stand from there. 10 seconds left. Let me do one more time, over and up, and 2, 1, take a rest. Overhead press is next. You maybe need to drop down to a lighter weight. So, non-dominant arm to start. You're welcome to do this standing, or if you have enough padding and you want to come down to a kneeling position, like a half kneeling, like in a lunge. We're going to go 30 seconds on each side with time to transition. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Lifting up, elbow forward as you lower down. Exhale on the up, inhale as you lower. Good. You can either keep your non-working arm out to the side, or if you'd like to bring it onto your abdomen, just helps give a little bit more awareness, especially those of you that are standing, making sure you're not overarching the spine. Awesome. Up and down, and 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Let's switch sides. Step it up. You're in that kneeling position, coming to the other side. Starting in 2, 1, here we go on the second side. It's our last exercise of this series. After we finish here, we'll take about a 20 to 30 second break, and then we back to those reverse lunges. Good. On this overhead press, gently elevate that shoulder up towards the ear. Allow that shoulder blade to fully get that lateral rotation along the rib cage. Wonderful. Final time. And take that pause. Very good. All right, come on up. Shake it out. Feel free to grab a drink, and we'll be back to those reverse lunges here in 20 seconds. Based upon how you felt on the first round, if you'd like to hold some weights, I'm going to hold a dumbbell right underneath my chin. All right. Toes pointing forward, eyes looking ahead, and then when you're ready, stepping it. Nice long step back, driving up and forward. Good. Alternating legs, ensuring that front foot, the whole foot, including the heel especially, stays in contact with the floor. You just want to kiss that knee to the ground, just a light touch. If you find that you're coming down a little hard, if you're holding weight, especially, I would recommend setting the weight down. We're halfway through that minute. Good. There you go. Fight to keep that chest upright as you stand. And you're kind of looking out at the horizon if you're at the ocean. Just keeping those eyes ahead. Wonderful. Maybe one more on each leg. And rest. Very good. Forearm plank, option of the walk-ups next. All right, palms down. And when you're ready, here we go. 45 seconds on this piece. And up, coming down, or just holding strong. Keep firing that lower body. We're halfway through. "15 seconds left. Draw that stomach in, ensure those hips stay level to the shoulders. Three, two, one, and making your way back to standing. All right, we did the double leg deadlift last time. This round, we're gonna have the option to come into a single leg. I'm gonna go unweighted, and it's gonna be alternating legs. So you're gonna stand tall. When you're ready, you can join me. You're gonna lift up out of the hips, back toe points down to the floor as you reach for that front foot, and you simply switch sides. Long spine, challenging that balance as you practice that hinging posture. And as the chest bows forward, we want to be focused on driving that back thigh up. Ideally, kind of keep that back thigh level with your torso. Awesome. And now as I bow forward, I'm kind of finding a spot on the ground, 2, 3, maybe 4 feet in front of me to gaze at, to help with that balance. Wonderful. 15 seconds left. Looks great, crew. And 3, 2, 1, take a rest. All right, overhead press. You can either come all the way down to kneeling. Those of you that are staying off the knee and you're standing on this round, if you're holding it in your right hand, just have a little stagger step back with your right foot. If you want to keep that knee on the ground like we did the first round, you're welcome to it. All right, coming in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. First 30 seconds on this side. I'm choosing to stand. I found that my knee got a little uncomfortable. Don't have an extra mat nearby today. Now, especially those that are standing, see if you can give a little squeeze of the glute on that trail leg. Awesome. Do that full range of motion, lifting up, controlling down. And take a pause. Nice work. We're switching sides. Make sure you switch the leg position as well. 2, 1. Here we go. Elevate up, control down. Nice. Sometimes when we bring it down, the elbows tend to shoot wide. So if you're looking forward at your screen, focus on pointing your elbow directly at me. Wonderful. Elevate through, controlling down. 1 or 2 more. And there's our rest break. Fantastic. All right, we've got one more round to go. Let's grab a quick sip of water. Feel free to give a little swivel through the hips. Keep everything nice and loose. We're going to start round 3 here in 15 seconds. If you want to use some weights, on this round, I'm going to use weights both on the lunges, and I'm going to hold a little bit of weight on the single leg deadlifts as well. All right, starting with your toes pointing forward, and begin when you're ready. Lunges, alternating sides, stepping back. It's our 3rd and final time. So as always, either staying consistent or turning up that tempo just a little bit. We do have one more series after this. You choose to stay for the whole session. So keep that in mind. We're going to be doing some squatting, some sit-ups, and the good old burpee on this last series. But first, stay focused on your lunges. 15 seconds left. Really strong, crew. And 3, 2, 1, and there's the rest. Wonderful. Coming down to your final plank. Those of you that are given a break on the wrist, not wanting to do the walk-ups, if you do want a little extra challenge, you could do a side step. I'll show that this round, where you take little steps with your legs. Stepping to one side, back to middle, and then to the other. Here we go, starting our 45 seconds. So instead of those plank walk-ups, I'm joining the side step action. Once again, we don't want those hips to drop down, and just little tiny steps. I find it gives a little bit more burn in those thighs as we're stepping side to side. Woo. All the while, keep engaging those glutes, drawing those thighs up out of the knees. Head neutral, looking right between those arms. We're almost there, 5 seconds. And rest. Woo. Good job. Let's take just a short, brief break here in that child stretch, and we'll come back up for that single leg deadlift. Fantastic. All right, making your way up 15 seconds. If your balance is a little unsteady, I recommend staying unweighted. If you felt strong, you could hold the one dumbbell in 2 hands, starting with your toes pointing forward, nice tall posture. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift up through those hips. Remember, back leg points down. There's going to be that tendency for the toe and the hips to want to swing open. Whew. Find that spot to focus on. Every time you stand, lift back up towards the sky so you don't start to drop into your hips. Use your midline. Use all that core strength that we practice. And engage the glute. There you go. Driving that back thigh up. Yep. Be patient with yourself. It's not an easy movement. 10 seconds to go. Whew. And 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Awesome job. All right, last round of overhead press. We're going to vary it up a little bit. If you want to go a little bit heavier, we'll give the option of a dip and drive with the legs parallel for a push press. Starting on your non-dominant arm. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So I'm going to do a little quarter squat and then drive up to overhead. Good. Breathe in on the dip. Breathe out on the overhead drive. Lovely. Eyes are looking straight ahead. Make sure you're sitting back in those heels, pushing the knees out nice and wide. 5 seconds. And rotate. Good work. Coming to that opposite arm. Same idea. 2, 1. Here we go. Dip and drive. Wonderful. So Sharon, we're not holding the hand on the belly so much for this one. I like to reach that non-working arm straight out as I dip down and then rest it down as I press overhead. There you go. Opposite of that though. So on the dip, you reach out. On the drive, you rest the arm down. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, that series is done. Nice work. We're gonna go into a behind the back stretch. Give a little stretch break here before we transition to that final series. So interlace the hands behind you, extend those arms, root down into your legs, and then send your hips back as you bring those arms up and over. Tuck the chin in. Go ahead and let gravity kind of give a little space into your neck. On that next inhale, root down into your legs, bring yourself back to vertical. Whew, the blood come out of your head and shake it out. All right. For this final series, first is squatting, and we're going to have 3 rounds, but each round is going to get shorter. So we go 60 seconds, 45 seconds, and then 30 seconds with a little bit of a break after each round. So first exercise is going to be our traditional squat. Round 1, the 60 seconds, I'm going to go unweighted, just up and down. We'll all start together here. When you're ready, 2, 1, and begin. Breathing in, breathing out. We're focused on that range of motion once again, keeping those heels planted. And just watch, sometimes when we focus on the heels, the toes will flare up. I want you to have your whole foot rooted down. So I like doing these exercises without shoes on when safe and possible. That can help me to grip the ground. It helps to engage the arches of your feet. Wonderful. We're halfway through that minute. If you need a break, you can always march in place. Take a break from the squatting. Good. Making sure your feet are nice and wide. Hip width apart. 15 seconds left. We're going to lie down on our backs next, working our sit-up or the sit tall, as I like to call it. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and head to the floor. So you're going to lie back, head rests down, arms reach overhead, and then as soon as you're ready, we'll drive the arms, and then you want to sit all the way up, nice and erect out of the sit bones. Gradually lower back, arms come back up to overhead, then sitting tall once again. I have like the soles of my feet together, almost like a little butterfly position, and then I reach for my ankles as I sit tall. As you lie back, drawing your stomach in, thinking about that hollow body position that we practice a lot, where you're trying to hollow out your low back like a rowboat. Gently lowering back, and then some good speed as you come up to the top. Breathing it out as you lift up. Wonderful. I like to call it the sit tall, because how do you want your posture to look in 5 years, 10 years, ideally 20 years? We don't want to be crunched forward. We want to be nice and tall. Final time. Woo! Beautiful. Go ahead and spin it around. Our burpee is next. So we'll start from the top of the push-up. Nice wide handprints. Coming up to that plank position, and then when you're ready, we're going to step up initially. Nice big step forward. Get into those heels. Reach the arms to overhead, and then coming back down. Same foot steps back, and now the opposite foot steps up. Try to take a long enough step if you have the flexibility. You can get the heel planted and shin vertical. Once again, this is our minute round. Engage those glutes. If anyone's feeling any discomfort in their low back, you're welcome to sub out a plank, or you could also maybe work like an elevated push-up. Woo! Wonderful. You can start to hop the feet back if you prefer, as long as you don't have any irritation in that low back, and you can hop both feet up together. We have just over 10 seconds left, and we'll be into our rest break. Those of you wearing the bands, we're going to take the air out after we finish these last bit of burpees. Back, up, squeeze the glutes and stand. Wonderful. Take that rest break. All done with the bands for today. We have another 20 seconds left, and then we'll be back for the squats for our round of 45 seconds. So if you want to start to add weight, you could hold one weight under the chin or 2 lighter weights in each hand. You're also welcome to stay unweighted. All right. We'll give another 10 seconds here. Let those folks get ready to go. Feet about hip width apart, eyes up and forward. And 3, 2, 1. Here's our second round. Working for 45 seconds. Breathing in, breathing out. Fantastic. You start to give some awareness, like your lower core, the area of your pelvic floor, trying to engage those smaller muscles. Especially as you lower down to that squat, make sure you don't just lose control in the bottom. You want to keep that midline strong and engaged. Think about like lifting up through your core. Good. 1 or 2 more reps. We're taking it down to the floor for those sit talls next. 2, 1, transition. So remember, you're going to start. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together again, like that butterfly position. Lowering myself back, arms come up to overhead. I want you to ensure your head rests back each time. 3, 2, 1, when you're ready, drag the arms, pull yourself into that upright posture. Excellent. Sometimes folks feel like they're cheating if they use their arms, but I'll tell you, it helps us to move as a unit. Your arms are attached into your core. It also helps take any strain off your neck. If you ever have done a bunch of crunches, I know I personally have had a lot of neck discomfort after I've done a lot of crunches. So we want to help use the body as it's designed. You don't have to see it as a cheat, but maybe moving with proper function. 5 seconds. Very good. And 3, 2, 1. Transition into those burpees. Coming on over. Make sure you spread those fingers nice and wide. Give good support to the wrists. Starting in that plank. 2, 1. When you're ready, remember you can step or you can float up to the feet. Those of you that are choosing the stepping option, alternate which side steps up and back with each rep. Wonderful. You're also invited, if you'd like, you can at the very top, you can have a little straight jump. Reach for the ceiling. I like to call it like your little celebration jump. Here you go. Fantastic. 15 seconds left. Holding nice and strong through the belly. 5 seconds. And take the rest. All right, 30 seconds. Then we'll be into our third and final round. Now we have 30 seconds of each movement. So with that shorter duration, you can either keep it steady or once again, turn up that tempo just a little bit. Squats are first, starting in 8 seconds. Option to hold some weights if you choose. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Squat it out. Same strong mechanics, solid range of motion, consistent breathing. Wonderful. Eyes up and forward. You're using your legs to generate that strength and that force. Thinking about pushing your feet down to the floor as you drive your chest nice and tall. Beautiful, crew. One more time. And rest. Coming down for our sit talls. Lying flat. Soles of the feet come together. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Draw the belly in. Push that low back into the floor as you drive the arms. And then sitting tall. Excellent. Shoulders back and down at the top. 10 seconds left. I'm going to give a 15-second transition for that burpee, but if you want to get going a little sooner, feel free. Resting on the sit talls, rolling on over. Either continue to rest as we transition, Or we'll start together in 5, 2, 1, and begin either stepping or hopping. Try to add that little small hop at the top. Nice work. Final little push here before our cool down stretch. Move well, move strong. If you're hopping those feet back, make sure the hips don't drop down low. So strong plank position. Engaging that midline. One more time. And done. Fantastic. Give yourself a little round of applause. My water's all gone, but feel free if you want to grab another drink. And then we're going to be doing our cool down series with the down dog, into pigeon, and seated twist. If you want to use a pillow or a block, go ahead and bring that nearby. Fantastic, friends. All right, when you're ready, set the feet about hip width apart. We'll start to inchworm our way down. Getting ready for that first down dog. So I'm going to spread out those hands, lift the hips, give that little pulse, looking between the thighs, engaging the heart towards your thighs. We'll get the calf stretch on the next one. We're going to go 3 cycles of the left knee towards the left elbow with that hip extension. We're going to point the toe, really reach high as you drive it back. Breathing in, draw that knee to the elbow, and then look between the legs as you really extend through the hip. Wonderful. Here's our third time. In and back. And then we'll come into pigeon. So square the shin to the shoulders. And here's where if you need that block, you can use it. Fantastic. We're going to spend about 45 seconds here. Make sure you don't drop into that hip. If you'd like to add a quad stretch, you can use your left hand to grab the right foot. You have 30 seconds left. Ah. 15 more seconds if you are stretching the foot, or just, I'm going to release mine for the last 15. Some of you are just now grabbing it. That's perfect. Good. When you're ready, we're going to sit down onto your left hip, and we're going to swing that right leg around as we come into seated twist. And sometimes I speak opposites. This time we're on the same, so we might look opposite of each other. Hug that leg in. And then any variation you like and know, I'm going to go hand behind me, working that elbow on the opposite thigh. Really lift up the spine as you crawl that hand behind you. The arm is reaching back. Ensure that you draw that shoulder down out of the ear and then turn your head. See how far you can gaze without overstretching. Let's go 3 more breaths here. In and out the nose, down the table. Fantastic. When you're ready, go ahead and release out of that twist. If this is your right leg you're hugging in, that's going to be the leg that we work on that next down dog position. All right. So making our way back into our final down dog, we're going to add the calf stretch this time. So as we lift the hips, you can still give the heart a little pulse towards the thighs, but then let's focus on the calves, lowering one heel down. Switching side to side. 2 to 3 touches on each side. As you finish that, now we're going to go into that leg extension with the right side. So we're going to breathe in as we draw the right knee towards the right elbow. Breathe out as we lengthen, point the toe, extend through that hip. Lovely. 2 more. Breathe in, draw it forward. Breathe out, extend, push. Final time. And then we make our way into pigeon. Bring in your block if you need it. Gradually lower into that stretch. Coming down to the forearms if you choose. You want to stretch that back quad. You can use your right hand to grab the left foot. Ah, 15 seconds left. I'm going to release the trail leg and finish by coming down low. Any variation that you prefer. Fantastic. When you're ready, making your way onto your right hip, or whichever leg is forward, and then swing that trail leg around. Final seated twist. Sitting up tall, right on those sit bones, hugging the leg in. And if this is intense for you, you can stay here for a bit. This feels pretty good, then you can start to go deeper. Working that elbow on the opposite thigh, back arm crawls around. Still lifting through the crown of my head. Trail shoulder draws down as I turn the head and peek over that back shoulder. And then I return to focusing on the breath, in and out the nose. Final breath. And then gently unwind. Fantastic, everyone. All right, let's finish in our crisscross seated position. And we'll do 3 finishing breaths together. Sitting right up on those sit bones. I invite you to bring the hands together in front of the heart. Feel free to close your eyes if you prefer. As we breathe in, we're going to raise those arms up to overhead, really lifting up out of the spine, and then breathe out. Just circle it on down. Wonderful. Twice more. This is our time to practice gratitude. Give thanks for all that your body was able to do today. Release and forgive your body for anything that maybe you thought you were going to be able to do. Good. And last time, let's breathe in some love, the feelings of peace, joy, compassion, and then send it out. Share it with your pets, your friends, anyone that really challenges you. Thank you so much. Please stay hydrated. Try to keep moving. Listen to your body throughout the day. If you're feeling stiff and sore, that's usually your body asking for a little bit of gentle movement. So think about what you've learned here, what you've learned elsewhere, and what can you do to give your body a little support. Looking forward to moving with you next time.